Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews, and today I can talk about a film that I want to talk about when it came out, but I didn't get to see it. Oculus from 2013 gets 6.5 on IMDb, directed by Mike Flanagan. Now, this is a movie, like I said, that I wanted to see back when it came out, but see, because there's two different release dates. There's 2013, which is the official release date, but then it says April 11th, 2014 in the USA. So I'm thinking that this was released later in the USA, so technically in 2014. But the official release, it's like You're Next. You're Next technically came out in 2011, but it got a much wider release in 2013. That's why when I seen that date, 2011, I'm like, I don't remember seeing the commercials that back in 2011. I remember back in 2013, I seen the commercials for it, but not 2011. And then I found that they got a wider release in 2013. So, officially it's released 2013, but it didn't get released in the USA until 2014. And the movie, is it perfect? Is it an amazing horror movie? No. There's definitely problems to it. It does still have a cliche, it's still a little bit cliche, but it's a little bit different. I think the strong points of this movie is the shocks. There's some good suspense to it. I don't mind the story. I don't mind the ideas. I actually like the ideas. They're pretty creepy. The fact that you got this mirror and it causes people to do these weird things that you wouldn't. Basically, like, this mirror just makes these people like hurt themselves, and they'll snap out of it and they'll realize they're not even hurting themselves. It's a really creepy idea. Like in the movie, people kill themselves. They do things that they think they're doing this other thing, but then they find they're doing this other. It just the mirror plays mind tricks on them. And I really enjoy that idea. It was a creepy idea. It was a newer idea. It felt new. It didn't feel like it was overused. Or it doesn't feel like it's been used before over and over again, and it just doesn't feel that cliche, the idea itself. But there are jump scares, there are CGI moments that aren't good. But there is a lot of shock to the movie. It definitely does have a lot of shocking moments to it. Definitely suspenseful moments. The story's pretty cool. And I like some of the ideas they do with the movie. It says here the movie's 104 minutes long, but in my opinion, I didn't feel bored. So, yeah, it's 104 minutes long, but I didn't really get bored by it. So, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a fast pace, I just didn't get bored by it. And it's definitely rated R, so you got, blood and stuff, and some makeup effects. And besides the shock value, and besides the somewhat makeup effects, and decent acting, decent characters, I didn't mind the characters. I didn't hate the characters, but I didn't mind them. They weren't great characters, but I didn't hate them. Besides those few things, it's pretty cliche, and other things are not that good. So, as you can see, I'm not ranting the movie, because it's Oculus movie review, but I felt like if it wouldn't have had the shocks and it wouldn't have had the makeup effects, it probably wouldn't have been as good as, at least I think it is. I mean, I think it's just a decent horror movie. It's a time waster. It's definitely not a great, awesome, flawless horror movie. No, it's got some problems to it, but I think it's just a decent, maybe time waster. I didn't hate it. There were things I liked about it. Like I said, the suspense, the shocks, somewhat practical effects, the story I liked. I liked the ideas they put to it. But you have jump scares that aren't needed. You have just some bad CGI moments, and sometimes it can get pretty cliche. Stuff that I've seen before, it's been used before in other horror movies, that you're like certain things with jump scares, they've been used a lot before. And it just felt like the whole mirror idea was new. The whole mirror idea was fresh, and it wasn't cliche. It was just the whole paranormal haunting aspect to it. Felt cliche. I mean, these people get possessed and they act like the cliche possessed people, or it's just, it feels like it's been used before. Some of the behind the whole paranormal aspect of the movie, which we do understand is part of the mirror, but still, some of it was kind of cliche. Some of it I've seen before. But the story is basically about this kid named Tim. Basically, he was charged for murder, and he's going to these, counseling and, basically to get help because I don't think he can really remember what happened, or something like that. They basically, his sister tries to help him out, and he's going through all this depression after what happened, and you don't know what happened. The movie kind of backtracks. So because it started off in the beginning of the movie, they're all grown up, and then his sister's like, well, we're going to go back to the house, we're going to lock the house down, we're going to stay in there and see if we can remember what happened. So they go back to the house, and they lock themselves in there. I guess the sister's been studying this mirror, and she tells her brother about this mirror and how the reflection is evil, and it does, like, paranormal, like, the mirror affects the atmosphere, the mirror affects things, like, it'll make, like I said, it makes them do things that they think they're doing. Like, this one girl thinks that she's biting into an apple, and then she bites into a freaking, like a light bulb or something. Like, it's like either like a light bulb or it's something like that. Like, I think a light bulb. And her mouth is full of glass and blood. That was a good shocking moment. I was like, oh crap, because she took a bite, it was like, ka-ching! I'm like, what the heck? And then she's like, her mouth is all full of blood. It's like, oh crap, it kind of shocks you. And you don't expect it when that kind of stuff happens. When the mirror messes with them and they think they're doing one thing and they end up doing another thing. It's kind of shocking, and you don't really realize what's like. It started to get to the point where you don't realize if what you're seeing is what really is there, or if it's just the mirror messing with them. And that became very suspenseful because you didn't know which one. You didn't know what was real and what was not real. And that made it very suspenseful. I gotta give the movie that. It made it very suspenseful for them doing that. And the brother doesn't believe her at first. He's kind of like, I don't really believe in the whole ghost thing. And then she shows him some stuff, and then he ends up believing. And pretty much it's just backtracking to how when they were kids, their parents moved into this house, and there was this mirror there. I think it was already there, and they got this mirror up in the wall, and her mom gets possessed by the mirror, and then the father, I think, gets killed. And the mom gets killed. And that's pretty much, I mean, there's a lot more detail to it. But the gist of it is the mom and dad end up getting killed. The mom possesses, or the demon, or the mirror, or whatever, possesses the mom, and she ends up going crazy. I think she kills the dad. And then she ends up dying. And pretty much it's about, a big chunk of the movie is that. It's just, when they were kids, the mirror, how it would affect things, and how, things would just, the mirror was basically, like I said, it was just doing paranormal stuff, like, making the mom, I think it was like when she was cleaning or something like that. I can't remember, like, I watched it a long time ago. I can remember the gist of the movie, I just can't remember the details, like a lot of the details, like close details and stuff like that. I can't remember, but I remember the gist of the idea. And it plays tricks on the mom and the dad. The mom thinks that the dad's cheating on her, and the dad ends up thinking about some stuff about the mom, and the mirror plays tricks on them, and the mom kills the dad, I think, and then the mom ends up dying. And pretty much the kids remember this, and I guess the kid got framed, the little boy got framed for murder, and the mirror made it seem like he killed his, I think like either he killed his dad or his mom. I can't really remember that part. But the kid ends up getting arrested for, for murder. He didn't murder anybody with just a mirror. And the people, like, these kids remember, like, these people are, like, these characters are grown up now, and they remember all this stuff. And the third act of the movie was good. The very ending of it, where the mirror just goes all out, does some crazy stuff, because they come up with this idea to sort of stab the mirror, but you can't break it. That's another good thing I like about it is you can't break the mirror. It's like no matter what you do, you can't break it. And they got like this axe hooked up, and I guess they wait for a reflection, and then when the reflection shows or something like that, the axe goes down and hits the mirror and breaks it. And you know, even before the mirror is like making the brother, I think it's like he thinks he's walking somewhere, ends up being in a total different area. That light bulb scene where the girl bites into the light bulb, thinks it's an apple, looks back. Well, actually, she sees a light bulb and then she like blinks and looks at it, and it's actually an apple again. So the mirror just plays tricks on them, and basically you have a very very shocking ending. It was definitely a good twist, a twist I didn't see coming, where they got the mirror placed up, and then the girl presses the button to release the axe because the reflection, you know, starts to act up. And the axe goes down, and you realize the girl actually was standing in front of the mirror. Like, she was way back here, what she thought she was, and the mirror made her up in the mirror, like right by the mirror, up in front of it. And the axe came down and hit the girl like in the back of the head. And you know, the brother's like flipping out. He's like, "Oh my god, holy crap!" And then he ends up getting framed for murder again. So definitely some bad luck there. I mean, he got framed for murder twice. Gosh dang. But you know, he basically ends up getting framed for murder again, and you know, he gets arrested and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. But it's Oculus is a movie that I think is, if you're in the mood and you know, if you just want to watch a time waster, a movie doesn't take that much time, watch Oculus. I mean, it's got some good stuff to it. It definitely does have some potential. It was just some cliches, some jump scares, some CGI, you know, blood and gore and stuff. Didn't really care for. Some paranormal cliches I've seen before in other paranormal horror movies. But yeah, Oculus is definitely not a bad movie. I think it's pretty decent, a time waster. And yeah, so thanks for watching my review on Oculus, and I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye guys.